Hi guys, today we're going to present our business process modeling use case, class diagram and database using Access for our company Washoe. The business process model notation is a standard and schematic notation for capturing and designing business processes in the phases of system design or system redesign, especially at the level of domain analysis. The principal objective of BPMN is use of standard and easy notation to be easier to understand by the users. The BPMN, which we chose to study, describes the process in which the customer makes an order. As he enters the website, chooses the color, chooses the quantity of our product. The company checks its inventory. Here, it either makes a new manufacturing order or just straight up sends the product. And finally, the customer gives feedback on the product. The company receives it and improves the product. Use case diagrams model the functionality of a system using actors and use cases. Use cases are a set of actions, services, and functions that the system needs to perform. In this context, a system is something being developed or operated, such as a website. The actors are people or entities operating under defined roles within the system. Use case diagrams are valuable for visualizing the functional requirements of a system that will translate into design choices and development priorities. They also help identify any internal or external factors that may influence the system and should be taken into consideration. In our use case diagram, we have our actors, the clients, the suppliers, the Washoe production manager, the accounting department, and the Washoe website, which is a person, apparently. Between the actors and the use cases, there is an association that identifies the interaction. For instance, when we see the clients, there is a line that associates to use case. Enter the website, make an order, etc. The generalization defines a relationship between two actors or two use cases where one use case inherits and adds to or overrides the properties of the other. For instance, the received product and product feedback. We cannot do a product feedback without having received the product. So this is a generalization. The class diagram illustrates the structural component of the system and clearly identifies the classes, interfaces, and their relationships within the structure. Classes represent a group of objects, their attributes and operations, and the relationships represent the connections between the items. In our class diagram, we explored the different types of data that are needed to get the invoice. To study what is a class diagram, we look more closely to product. The class of product is determined by a primary key, which is the product ID, which is an integer, and has two attributes: the name string, name which is a string, and the price, which is a float. This class has a relationship with orders, which means that the relationship is an arrow, which means that the relationship is a relationship of dependency. Orders are dependent on the product. To study the relationship, we look at the numbers above the tables or in the line, and we see that the product has there is one product in every order, or that can be more than one product in one order. On the other way, we can see that there may have been products and zero orders, or many orders within our product pool.
Welcome to Microsoft Access. Before we show you how a class diagram looks like, and now I'm going to show you how you can build your relation diagram. First, you have to go here and to create your tables and your attributes. For example, we have, in the case before, our table, for example, product, we have product color, and we have a number that's price, and we can put an integer or a float. We're going to put an integer price because our price doesn't vary. Now you can change the view of the table, but first you have to save it, and you have our type of data. A lot of types you can choose for these tables. These are the examples that we showed in the relation diagram before. So for our company, but it's just an example. You have to adapt for your company. Now we're going to create the relation for our new table. So you go here and you click in relations. This was the previous one, but if we delete this table and we add the new one we just created, we just have to now connect with the relation. And this is our foreign key, product color, and we're going to put here in the table orders, and now our diagram is complete. In case you have other tables, you just have to add here each table and connect with the relations. Also, in case you want to do a form to collect data, you have to click here. And already comes with a template. And you can, for example, put a button, so it is easier for you to insert all the data. And it has all different categories. We're going to choose to go to the next register. And you just proceed and we conclude. You have different types of views. In this view, you can write. For example, if I click now, if you put, for example, white and 100, for example, the price, and you click here, and you go to table 1, and if you update, you're going to have your data here. It's quite simple and really useful. So I hope you like it. Bye!